Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. As well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we have actually two patterns, but it's going to be the one that is suggested in the video title and the thumbnail. They're both related to each other. One is a table runner and the other one is a shawl. So what we have here is that you could make this into a wrap as well, like a rectangular wrap if you want to, but if you really love the stitch work you can also make it into a triangle. The stitch multiples for both of these are exactly the same as 12 plus 5, and there's also stitch diagrams that are available to you on the second page. So when we go to reveal that, you will find the stitch multiples are there. The diagram is there. So the stitch multiple for this one is not written on this pattern, but it is 12 plus 5. So if you want it bigger than what is suggested in this particular pattern for the shawl, it's 51 inches wide, but if you stitch in multiples of 12 plus 5 you can make it much wider, but you will change your yarn quantities. In the rectangular format, the table, this is what it looks like here, and you can see that it's a repeat. So for the shawl itself, it's actually doing a repeat of 2 rows of 4 and 5, and it will constantly decrease all the way back to the point. And then this one here, there's a repeating of 2 through 5, and you will see that working out. So let me show you the examples that I have, and I'm going to be focusing on the particular one that is suggested in the video as I mentioned. So here are two examples. So this is the table runner right here. It's just a multiple of 12 plus 5, but we also have the finished instructions so that you can make it exactly the size that you have. So you will see that these trebles that are here are popping out of the project. I know it's hard to see with so much light blasting on it, but the back of it looks like this. You can see the indentations because we are going to be using back posts to make it appear like it's popping. So it's a mock macrame kind of concept. So in the other one we have the same stitch pattern. I know it's hard to tell with so much light coming at it with being gray, but you can see it's the same kind of stitch pattern, and on the back is also, you can see it's raised up like this. So if you really love this, you can just turn it over and use the back side of the blanket too, or of the shawl. So it's a really neat concept, and today we're going to move on to the exact example that was shown in the thumbnail. Okay, so now that we've done a preview of this, we're going to be moving on with the table runner. We have the Lily Sugar and Cream. You're going to want to use cotton yarn for your table and your kitchen needs. It is very easy to maintain. It also can act as a hot plate as well if you wanted to do that, because it is cotton yarn. So we're going to be using a 4mm size G crochet hook, or obtain the size gauge. These are the super size balls of 4 ounces, and there are 6 balls of those if you wish, or 1120 yards just in case you have the jumbo size Lily Sugar and Creams as well, or the smaller versions. So we have the set of instructions that are here. We have the abbreviation terms, sorry, and then we have here. So we're going to be repeating then the rows number 2 through 5 until you're satisfied, and then the final row is row number 2. So 2 through 5, 2 through 5. When you're happy, do row number 2 one more time, and then the border is just 1 single crochet worked around the edge equally. So let's begin our journey, and you're going to get started, and we're going to be using a G size 4mm hook to begin. For tutorial reasons, I'm using Caring 1 pound with a 5mm size H crochet hook. Remember, for your kitchen needs, acrylic yarn is not the way to go, but for demonstrations, perfect. Okay, so you can chain 77 to start to get the exact size runner that you would like to do, and the runner is 15 inches wide by 90 inches long, so it's very long. So what we have here is that we can chain either 77 or do the multiples of 12 plus 5, which is what I'll do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then if you're not happy with the width, just add another 12, and then another 12, and another 12, and then once you're satisfied, just add the 5 chains at the very end. So either chain 77 or multiples of 12 plus 5. I'll be back in just a moment. Let's get started on row number 1. Let's go 5th chain from the hook. So get to the back hump of the chain. So just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go to the back hump of that chain and begin to put in 3 trebles into that same chain. Now with that chaining that you just skipped, that gives you an extra 1, so you'll have a total of 4 in the end. So just put in your 3 into that same stitch, and we're ready to move on. So once these 3 are in, you're going to chain 1 before you move on, and you come back down to the chain, and you're going to skip the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go to the 6th one. I've done a note take, so that's why it's popping out like that. So you're going to single crochet into that one, and then before you begin the next section, chain 1 and then start. So skipping over and skip the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come to this one. This is the 6, and you're going to do what appears to be like a shell work. So you start with 3 trebles into that same chain. And to split those, you're going to chain 3, and then in the same chain 3 more trebles in. So you have to remember that before you start these, what appears to be like a 6 post kind of concept, or 6 trebles kind of concept, you have to chain 1 before you do it, and then chain 1 after you do it, and then come back down to the chain and skip the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Go to the 6 and single crochet, and that will hold that down into position. So you're gonna repeat that across. So chain 1 before you start and skip the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to the 6th and begin that treble work again. So 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles. So you're going to repeat this concept all the way to the other side. You'll obviously be bigger if you're doing the table runner, and if you wanted to do a whole blanket like this, remember it's in multiples of 12 plus 5. So chain 1 after you have that done, and then skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to the 6th. And now because I'm at the very end now, you will have it obviously longer, but chain 1, and you're going to skip over to this last one that's left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the last one, which is the 6th one, and you're only going to do a portion of what you see there. So you're going to put in only 4 trebles at the very end, and that's going to look like how it started as well on this one for row number 1. Okay, and that was row number 1. So when you pull it down, you can see you have your pieces in the middle, so you'll have it wider, and then you'll have your 4 trebles on the start and 4 trebles on the end. Let's now move on to rows number 2 through 5, which is the repeat for this whole thing. So rows number 2, 3, 4 and 5 are the repeat, and the only difference is that these shift locations as we're going. So rows number 2 and 3 belong together, and then 4 and 5 belong together as well. So let's begin row number 2. Chain 1 where you are and single crochet right in the beginning, and before you can move on you have to chain 5. So you have to reach on over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're about to do is that we have to link the remaining 3 that are left here and the 3 that are here together as one stitch. So this is a back post treble crochet stitch. To do that, you're going to wrap the hook twice, and you're going to come around the post but from the back side. So come from the back and pop it to the front, and then go out back to the back again and pull through. And you're doing it as a together stitch, so pull through 2 and 2 and say in your mind hold. So you're not going to finish that stitch. And now you'll go to the next one. So wrap the hook twice and come to the next post from behind, pop it back out to the behind, pull through, and then pull through 2 and 2 and hold. Say that in your head. So wrapping twice, come to the next one, come from the back, pop it to the back, pull through 2 and 2 and hold. So the first 3 are now linked in, so you should see 4 loops on the hook, but you're not done. You want to get these 3 into that same stitch as well. So wrap and wrap twice, come to the next one that's way over here, come from the back and pop it back to the back, pull through 2 and 2 and hold, and do the other 2 the same way. So you're putting all this stitch together as one. This is what's making it pop out when you look at the good side of the project. So currently you're on the wrong side. You're looking at the back of the project currently. So once you have all those 6 linked in, you should have a total of 7, which is the starting chain that we had, and then the 6, yarn over and pull through everything. and then chain 5 to move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what I need you to do at this point is that I need you to come to this chain 3, and we're just gonna go around that chain 3 and single crochet in, and then continue on. So chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're gonna put these 3 and these 3 together in the same manner. So wrap in the hook twice and do the back post trebles. Just keep gathering but do not finish it. And now I'm just gonna be quiet for a few seconds as I do it. So you're looking for a total of 7 loops after all is said and done, which is there. Yarn over, pull through everything, and then chain 5 to move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come to the chain 3 space that's separating those, and just single crochet around the space and keep on moving on. So you're just gonna keep in that same manner going all the way across, but eventually you will hit the end like I'm about to. So to come near to the end, you'll chain your 5, and you'll gather the final 3 here and the first 3 here, leaving this one untouched. So let's do that, and I'll be quiet. It's the same thing, just back post trebles. There's 6 of them together as one. Now that you have your 7 loops, pull through everything, and you need to chain 5 to get to this very last one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to single crochet into this turning chain. Don't go into a space, go right into the chain work itself, and that will conclude then row number 2. So this is the back side that we've been looking at, so you'll see that those will start jumping out in the forward. So let's move on to row number 3. In row number 3, you're going to chain 1, and you'll do 1 single crochet into the first single crochet, and now right into the center point where all these 6 came together as one is where you're going to play. So every other row is much easier than the rows in between, so we don't have to worry about back posts on this particular row. So 3 and 5, you never worry about back posts. So coming into the center point there, before you begin though, chain 1, and in the center point put in 3 trebles to start, and this is like we were doing it on the chain work itself. So 3 trebles, and then chain 3 will split them, and 3 more trebles into the same center point. And once you have that done, chain 1 before you move on, and see this single crochet, that's where you're gonna go. So you're gonna match it so that it will pull it down. So you can see that it's almost like a flower. It's here, 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 and here. These 2 will not pop out until you do the next row. So to start again, chain 1, come to the center point of where those 6 together trebles are, and you'll do the same thing. So I'll just be quiet. So it's 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles. Once you have that set done, chain 1 before you move on, and then look for the single crochet that is going to separate these flowers, and you'll do that all the way across, but eventually the party will come to an end. So to start the very final part, once you get all the way there, chain 1 before you start, and these are full open flowers. So they're gonna be 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles to start. And then we just have to worry about the last stitch that's gonna go in. And the last stitch, after you get this set done, chain 1, don't forget, and look for that single crochet which is right here in the very end, and you're gonna put a single crochet in there to hold that down. So this is what it looks like now. So we're gonna turn our work and begin row number 4. So in row number 4 it's different from row number 2 because in row number 2 we started with coming down and doing it like this, but we're in a different position now. So row number 4. So row number 4 we're going to start with a partial 3 together trebles and then move on, and everything in the between is the same. So it's just the endings and the starting that is different. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will count as a separate stitch in row number 5, so don't forget that. So now you're going to do a 3 together double crochet, or sorry, 3 together treble crochet starting with the 3 that are here. So you're just gonna wrap the hook twice and just pick up the first 3. And don't finish it. You want to do a 3 together with the back posts. And once you have that done, pull through everything, and then it's like before, you're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look for the chain 3 that is separating these out, and single crochet to hold it. So just the end is different. So now chain 5 to begin again, and now you're going to do the 6. So it's the 3 from here and the 3 from here that is going to become together. So just with the back post trebles, you're gonna put those 6 together. We've already done this before in row number 2. So once the one side is done, just jump on over to the other. So in certain yarn colors this will really jump out at you, and other colors it may not. Like the green is not so obvious, but I had it and I was just playing. So you're looking for the 7 loops, pull through all of it, and then chain 5 to move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then look for the next chain 3, single crochet to stabilize it into that chain 3, and then chain 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put this 3 and these 3 together. So for those that are thinking about doing the shawl, the only difference is that the rows start off slightly different, so it'll give you a point, so you're always eliminating out stuff after you get the first 2 rows done. But you can look at that tutorial if you're interested. Okay, so I'm looking for my 7 loops, and I don't have 7. Now I do. Sorry, I pulled through 1 extra. And now I pull through everything and then chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And eventually you'll come to the very end of this. So you're going to just single crochet into that chain 3, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the end you only have 3 to work with. And what I need you to pay attention to, which I did overlook when I did my sample the first time through, is that you need to look for that final stitch. So once you have your 4 loops there, so there's the 3, pull through everything, and in this single crochet you're going to just do a treble straight on down. I missed that in my sample when I was doing it. So you're gonna turn your work and you can see that it's really starting to jump out of the work. And now let's begin row number 5, which is the end of the repeat. In row number 5 you just have to start again, and you're going to start with a partial. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is your beginning, and then into the same one where this is coming out of, I need you to put in 3 trebles in a row. This is going to look identical to the way you did it on the chain, and make sure you're not gathering. Make sure you actually finish each stitch. So this is just like row number 1 but without working on the chain. So you have the 3 in there, so this chain 4 plus these 3, and before you finish chain 1 and single crochet into the existing next single crochet to hold it down. Chain 1 to move on, and in the center point once again you're going to put in your 3 trebles, chain 3, 3 trebles. You can see once this pattern gets established it's a lot easier to work with, and you get more in your hand too to play with. Don't forget to chain 1 after you do that set, and then look for the next single crochet and hold it down. Chain 1 before you start again, and then look to the next center point and do the same thing. So you're gonna do this all the way across. So chain 3 and then 3 trebles back in, but eventually the party will run out as you come out to the next end, which I'll talk about in just a second. So you just gotta remember that rows number 4 and 5, but once you get established you won't even need to really look at the pattern, but 4 and 5 are always partial circles at the end, or partial flowers. So chain 1, single crochet, so then the partial is what you need to watch out for the most. Right in the very turning chain I need you to put in 4 trebles right into that turning chain itself. And that will complete row number 5. And that's what we have. So the back side you can see it looks like this. So let's talk about the repeat and then do the final row together. You're now going to repeat rows number 2 through 5 all over again, and you'll keep doing that till it measures approximately 90 inches, and then your very last row has to be row number 2, which is shown here as well. Do you see that? It's the same. So that's gonna be the very final row. So I'm going to do row number 2 with you again, and so that I can get this to go so I can show you how to work on the border. So let's do row number 2 just one more time just to finish off, and then for everybody else just keep on doing rows number 2 through 5 until you get the length that you want. So once you're happy with the length of this, you're going to do row number 2 once more, and that will complete it. So just chain up 1 and do a single crochet into the first, and then chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to put these next 3 and these first 3 here into the same stitch, so it's a 6 together with the back post treble. So you're looking for 7 loops on the hook when you do that, which you can see. Pull through and then chain 5 to move on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for the next chain 3, single crochet there first to hold it in, and then chain 5. And then put the next 6 together. So these 3 and these 3. So even if you're doing the repeat pattern of this and you haven't stopped the video, you'll notice that this is the start of row number 2, which has already been demonstrated before. Okay, once you have that done, you'll have 7 loops. Pull through all 7, chain 5, single crochet in the next, and then do that again. So chain 5, put these 3 and the first 3 that are here together as one. So I'm coming up to the edge already. 7 loops, pull through, chain 5s, 1 2 3 4 5, and then in the turning chain itself single crochet, and that'll hold it down. So that will conclude then on how you would do this panel. So with the right side facing up, so you turn it the good side, you're then going to do the border. So let's show you how to do that next. So the final border is just one equally singling so the final border is just in the corners, just chain up 1 and put in 3 single crochet so that it will turn. And you're just gonna equally space out your single crochets across. So we know that this is a chain 5 space, so 1 2 3 4 5. So you can do that, or you can just put in 4, it's up to you. You can put 1 into the piece like that, and then you have chain 5 spaces, so 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then 1 into the single. So if you see it bulging like that and you don't want to do that, what you can do is that it says equally spaced for a reason. So maybe if you want to pull it together, so there's only 2 in there now, so maybe if you want to just do 3, you could do that, and then 1 in there, and that will stabilize it to be tighter as well. So 1 2 and 3, but if you see it buckling, just add an extra stitch in there, and then 1 2 3 and then 1 into the point. So you keep doing this all the way over until you get to the first corner, and then we're going to work our way down the side. So coming to the edge, so in the very last one, what I want to do in the single crochet is just put in 3 single crochets, so 1 2 3, and before you move on, just make sure that that still stays flat, so the 3 does actually work, and then just turn it, and you're gonna work your way down the same kind of concepts. Remember, those are chaining 4s, so you have 1 at the top, so those are chaining 4s, so you might want to just do 3s, so 1 2 3, and then 1 into the join, and then 1 2 3, and then 1 into the join, and keep on doing that all the way down. So on the corners you'll put in your 3 single crochets, you'll do the bottom exactly the same way, and you'll come all the way back up, and you will just join it with the slip stitch at the end of that. So I'll see you there in just a moment, just to show you how to fasten off, and I'll be right back in just a moment. When you get all the way back around, remember that we started off in my sample that I did the 3 single crochets in the beginning, so that's already done. So you're just going to just slip stitch it and join it, and then you're just gonna trim that yarn, pull through, and then turn it to the back side of the work and use a tapestry needle for the best result. And just glide it through the back work. So don't let that needle go to the good side. So back here, and when you pull on it, don't change the shape of your project. And just back and forth a total of 3 times, and you can do that with any of the loose ends that you will have. You would have to change the yarn a few times if you're doing the table runner itself, and that's what it would look like. And so you have the texture that has been provided, and it looks pretty awesome. So this is it for today. Have a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon right here in the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Bye bye.